Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Verse 11. Yadaksharam veda vido vadanti vishanti yadyatayo vitaragaha yadichanto brahmacharyam charanti tatte padam sangrahena pravakshe. Yadaksharam Vedavidaha Vadanti. Vedavidaha, the knowers of the Veda, Vadanti, they declare, they expound, they propound. Aksharam, Aksharam Naksharati iti Aksharam Avinashi, immutable. Akshara also means a letter. And so here Akshara also means Om, which is one letter, and the mantra of one syllable. Akshara also means syllable. The one syllable mantra, which is Om. Or Akshara also means Naksharati, which is immutable. Veda Vido Vadanti. The knowers of the Veda which declare or speak about which Akshara, which immutable. Tadva etadaksharam gargi brahmana abhivadanti. This word akshara is used by sage Yajnavalkya in his dialogue with Vidushi Gargi, where Gargi asks a question to trap Yajnavalkya to describe, can you Brahman? If Yajnavalkya says, no, I cannot describe, then he says, well, that means you have lost the debate. Yes, I will describe, then also he is trying to describe something indescribable. So how does Yajnavalkya answer? Et aksharam gargi brahmanaha abhivadanti. He gargi brahmanaha, the knowers of Brahman, abhivadanti. They describe the aksharam in this manner. It's not I who is saying that, it is they who say that. And this Aksharam, immutable, Param Brahma, Paramatma, is described as devoid of all the attributes. Asthulam, Ananu, Akrasam, that which is not sthulam, not gross, not subtle, not long, not short. Meaning this is how the wise people describe Bhagavan, Brahman, as devoid of all the attributes. Sarva Vishesha Nivartakatvena Vivadanti. In the language of Neti Neti, not this, not this. It's very interesting how the Upanishads seek to teach us the nature of Brahman, nature of reality, nature of Paramatma, by saying what it is not. Not only in Brihadaranyaka, in all the Upanishads, Brahman is described as what is not. Adreksham, Akrakhyam, Agotram, Avarnam, Chakshashotram, Tadapa. In Mundaka Upanishad also says that which doesn't have a source, doesn't have a root, doesn't have a color, doesn't have an attribute. It's not a cause, not an effect. Is it possible? This is just by the way. How can you know something when it is described as not this, not this? For example, this is an object in my hand, say pot. So what is it? It's not an elephant. What is it? It's not a horse. It's not a table. It's not a chair. Thank you, Swamiji. What is it? It is not a carpet. It's not a rug. Can you ever communicate something by saying what it is not? But strangely, God or a Brahman or the self is communicated in this language of what it is not. Here I am telling you something very, very profound thing about the Vedanta. That you are not, so Atma is not tall, Atma is not short, Atma is not red, Atma is not green, Atma is not hard, Atma. So, it is not long, it is not short. Can you ever communicate something in this manner? By describing what it is not? So this is how Upanishads communicate about God, what it is not. When would it work? When would it serve the purpose? When what is being described is the self. But Swamiji, that also should be described what is the nature of self. By saying it is not this, not this, not this, how do you seek to convey? Isn't it? How do you seek to convey Ishvara, Bhagavan, Brahman by saying not this, not this? As I said, nothing in the world can ever be conveyed by describing what is not. The reason is that Atma is an entity of a nature different from a pot. In Vedantic terms, see, this pot does not have the freedom to make itself known to me unless I illumine the pot. What do you mean, Swami, you illumine the pot? Only when the pot comes or my eyes contact this pot, and eyes are enlivened by the mind and the mind is enlivened by the self or consciousness, so consciousness enlivens the mind enlivens the eyes or a respective organ of perception, and that in turn illumines this pot. Thus any object can be only known when it is illumined. Therefore, it needs to be described in positive. This is the pot, having a big stomach, having a narrow mouth, etc. In that manner you describe. Then why is Atma described in this manner in negative terms? Because all of these are the objects that cannot reveal themselves. Atma is self-revealing. Meaning that Atma is already experienced by us. It is already known by us. What do you mean, Swami? I don't know. I don't know Atma, you know? Do you know that you are? Are you there? Yes, Swami. I am there. How do you know? Let me see if I am there. Say, do I need to do something like this to make sure that I am there? Do I need to jump up and down to know I am there? Or do something to know that I am there? No, because I am is something already known. In Vedantic terms, we say that I am is self-revealing, therefore I know it. I have no choice not knowing the I. I'm always conscious of myself. By the way, that's the big problem. Something can become a problem to us when we are conscious about it, otherwise it cannot. The famous rope snake example, the rope can become a problem when I become conscious of the rope. Then there is a possibility that I may look up, I may mistake it to be a snake and then entertain fear. An object about which I am not conscious cannot be a problem. But I am always conscious about myself. Because the self is self-revealing, and therefore I always know I am. And when you are conscious about something, it can become a problem when you know it wrongly. You know, in the Vedanta, this rope snake example, you must have heard 1,000,000 times. If you come to Vedanta class, there will be at least a few times mentioned in the class. Rope snake. What is rope snake? What is lying in front of me is a piece of rope. And sometimes when there is not adequate light, then I think that it's a snake. Maybe there is already something going on in my mind, some fear is there, or some talk about snake is there. With children, at night children would all gather and some elder one would tell us stories. Stories about ghosts and stuff like that, and then, we have to go home. Because the home is in a narrow lane, and then, when you heard about these ghosts and that's what your mind is occupied with, or when you heard about the snakes and that is what your mind is occupied, then it's likely that what is the rope is looked upon as a snake. And that rope, which is otherwise innocent, nevertheless becomes a cause of fear. Not because of what it is, because of what it is thought to be. And so I'm always conscious about myself, and therefore, and entertaining wrong notions about myself. And therefore, I need to be told what I am not, because I already have conclusion as to what I am. Swamiji, I know who I am. Who are you? I was born on such and such date. I am so old. I am this much height. I have this much weight. I have this education. Each one of these things is a problem. I was born in 1950, Swamiji. I'm already 73 years old. So problem. When I look at the younger people, how fortunate they are and what energy they have and what I have become. So anything that I am aware of myself has a potential of creating a complex or therefore creating sorrow. Why? Not because of what I am, but because of what I think I am. Vedanta says you are Brahman, you are limitless, you are whole, you are complete, you are beautiful. The best thing that you can think of in life is what you are. The most beautiful that you can think of, the most loving that you can think of, the most kind that you can think of, whatever you think is ideal, great, is what you already are. You are that. But I have altogether different notions about myself. Therefore, the self has to be taught. Hey, you are not cruel. Swamiji, I say, I'm a cruel man, you don't know me. You are not cruel. I'm a sinner. You are not sinner. I am a failure. You are not a failure. I am success. You are not a success. Whatever I declare about myself, he says, you are not, you are not. This is how your not comes as far as the Atma is concerned. Because each one of these is a notion about myself. And each of that creates a sense of limitation. Therefore, As far as Atma is concerned, the only way to communicate the essential nature of the self, because I already think I already know who I am and I know it wrongly, therefore, by helping me to remove the wrong notion, that's the way, by neti neti. So, this is how, so that is how Yajnavalkya teaches Gargi. What is the nature of Brahman? Asthulam, Ananu, Akarsu. So Gargi wanted to trap Yajnavalkya. If Yajnavalkya says, I cannot describe Brahman, then that means you have lost the debate. He tries to describe Brahman, then it's not describable in words, because whatever he says Brahman is, the God defined is God defiled. So how does Yajnavalkya explain? Asthulam, what it is not, what it is not, what it is not, what it is not. That is how the knowers of Brahman describe Atma or Brahman. But Swamiji, how can you describe something by what it is not? Only Atma is available that way because I already have notions about what I think I am, and so therefore the scriptures negate all those notions. And that's how Yajnavalkya communicates to Gargi. Yadaksharam Veda Vido Vedanti. The knowers of Veda know Aksharam, immutable Brahman or Paramatma in this way. Sarva Vishesha Nivartakatvena, by negating all the attributes. Who am I? I am devoid of all the qualifications. What is the constant effort in my life? To gain qualification. All the time, I'm not suggesting you do, but I'm just saying, all the time what I'm doing is to add the upadhi. MA, PhD, tick. Longer the upadhi, greater I am, which is good in the worldly terms. But my whole life goes in making myself distinguished. Distinguished from others. I'm a distinct entity, and there is no one like me. Not recognizing that by so doing I am limiting myself. I am creating a sense of isolation from myself. More I distinguish myself from others, more distance I create from others, more isolated I make myself. But that is good, Swamiji, and you are something which nobody else is, that's right. But then I suffer from a sense of loneliness, a sense of isolation. In fact, what Vedanta teaches us that you erase yourself. Now, here in the world, there is the premium for identity, building up the identity. I am so and so. That's how I feel proud of myself. Vedanta says, become free from identity. When can you do that? When you have sufficiently cultivated identity and gained the benefits of that identity, then you are ready now to grow out of the identity. Our Vedic culture provides identity. You are a brahmachari. The whole ceremony goes on to say that you are a brahmachari. Other ceremony takes place, elaborate that you are a husband or wife, you are a householder. Then you are a vanaprastha. Then you are a sannyasi. It's all giving identity. For what? So that someday you become free from that identity. As long as I have an identity, so long I am limited. Because however great I am, even if I am a sovereign, the ruler of the whole universe, then still I am limited. So Vedanta teaches that ultimately become free from that. This identity helps you to distinguish yourself, understand that limits you also, that separates you from others, that isolates you from others, and therefore someday you get free from this identity. How did the identity arise? By identifying with my body-mind complex. Recognize that you are free from that. You are free from identity. You have no attributes at all. But Swami, I have no attributes at all. I have no qualification at all. How would you like that? I pride myself in having qualifications in identity. Vedanta teaches that there is no identity, no qualification. Give up all qualification. Vedanta teaches the process opposite to what the world has taught me. When I went to learn Vedanta, then I realized that what the Guru teaches is quite contrary to what the world has taught me. And what world teaches also is right, because to function in the world, and you have to have an identity, and you have to have self-respect and self-esteem, etc. But in the spiritual world, meaning that when you become a spiritual seeker, then you realize that identity is not in fact a qualification, it is a burden. And therefore ultimately, neti neti, the scripture helps us to become free from all the identity. How would you feel, Swami? More identity you have, more isolation you have, less identity you have, less isolation, no identity, you are one with all. So that is our nature, that I am the self of all, I am one with all. This is what I am. And when do I recognize that? When I give up all identity. When does that happen? When I give up all identification with the individuality. That is how Vedanta teaches the nature of self, by negating the identity, negating the limitation, that you are free from all limitations. Yad aksharam veda vido vadanti, aksharam the immutable, which the knowers of Veda, they express in this manner. Vishanti yad yatayo vitaragaha, yad vitaragaha yatayaha vishanti. Vishanti enter. Yatayaha, the aspirants, the yatis, those who are striving. Vitaragaha, those who become free from all ragas and dveshas, and those yatis who have become free from the raga, mean attachment for all worldly things. As long as there is attachment for something, so long that is going to occupy my mind. Even when I go to Rishikesh, then also still have an attachment for my morning coffee that I get at home. What you get in Rishikesh is what you call it, I don't know. Whether it's tea or what it is, God knows, But so that's all I have to do with, and then I'm meditating, and the teacher says, you are Brahmanized, I think of my coffee at home. Because the mind naturally thinks of what it is attached to. Vitaragaha, those who become free from all attachments. But Swami, how do we become free from attachment? See, this vitaraga, this vairagya, only one dimension is taught to us. Become detached from the world. But the mind always requires some attachment. That's the nature of mind. Therefore, understand that for a healthy detachment from the world, there must be an equivalent attachment to the Atma. Meaning that I must have discovered the value of myself, and I realize that I am the most valuable. Mind will attach to what is valuable. When I realize that I am the most valuable, then the wealth is valuable because of me, and name, fame, power, anything is valuable because it is I who imparts value. When I recognize that I am the most valuable, that's the way my mind then will become free from the attachment, meaning that the false value that I had assigned to those things. I'm attached to something not because it is worth being attached to, it is because I have assigned value to that. Then I realize that in fact most valuable is the self. Vitaraga, those who are free from attachment, means those who are most attached to the self or Brahman. Yadichanto brahmacharyam charanti. Yadichanda, desiring which? Brahmacharyam charanti. They take a life of brahmachari. Who is brahmachari? Brahmani charati. The one who dwells in Brahman. That Brahma means Veda also. So brahmachari is the one who is committed to the study of Veda, who goes to the teacher and sits at the feet of the teacher, serves the teacher and studies from the teacher. Or brahmacharya also means the life of pursuit of Brahman, and then those brahmacharyam charanti. There are many who have given up everything in life and committed themselves to the pursuit of knowledge of Brahman. Yadichando, desiring which, meaning that they have found this to be the most desirable. Desiring which? What do you desire? You desire something that is valuable. And then these sages have found, they desire this, meaning that the sages have found Brahman to be the most desirable or Atma to be the most desirable. I am the most desirable to myself. Upanishad says, Atma sukamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Whatever in the world is dear to me is because I am dear to myself. We have to analyze our attachment or our love. I love everything conditionally. I love, as an example, conditionally. I love this entity. How long? As long as it is helpful to me. I love a person as long as a person is favorable to me, helpful to me, pleases me. So long I love. Moment that same person starts displeasing me, in the word of Puja Swamiji, I love you, I love you, I love you, I allow you, I allow you, I allow you. As long as person is pleasing me, I love you. When they start displeasing me, I allow them. Meaning that but Swami is very selfish. It is so. Because self is what we love basically, and then whatever is conducive to self becomes an object of love. I love everything conditionally. I love the self unconditionally. Yadichanto. Those who have discovered, as sage Yajnavalkya taught to Maitreyi, Atmastu kamaya saram priya bhavati. Hey Maitreyi, whatever is dear is because Atma is dear. Discover that. Yadichanto. Then when Atma becomes the dearest and becomes the only object of my desire, then of course, Yadichanto brahmacharyam charanti. There is vitaragaha, I have become free from attachment to everything else, and all my attachment now is centered upon the self. So what can you contemplate? Only what you are attached to. What is meant by seeking the self is contemplating upon the self. What the Upanishad teaching, what the teacher does is helps me to contemplate upon the self or Brahman. When that has become the dearest to me, yadichanto brahmacharyam charanti. These people give up everything, desiring which? Tatte padam sangrahena pravakshe. Lord Krishna says to Arjuna here, Tatte padam, that padam, padaniyam. So that which is to be achieved, padaniyam, that abode, which is what we are to be achieved, sangrahena parvakshe. In briefly, I will tell you about that pada. So this verse is sort of a reflection of a similar mantra in the Kathopanishad. Right away, Lord Krishna does not even say that. First of all, now, this teaches us the preparation of meditation with the help of that aksharam. Akshara means, as we said, immutable. Akshara also means a syllable. So this is a mantra of one syllable. Om is the mantra of one syllable. And that was the most famous mantra in the Vedic times. So verse number 12 says, Sarvadvarani sanyamya manorudi nirudhya cha murtnyadhayatmanah pranam asthito yoga dharana. Sarvadvarani sanyamya. Dvara means a door or the gates. Sanyamya, controlling all the outlets, all the gates, all the doors. What are these doors? The sense organs are called to be the gates here, through which the mind runs out. The reason why Lord Krishna asks us to close the gates of the sense organs is because the mind has a tendency to go out through them. Because even when I am sitting here in a meditation, like in the morning, then something goes on, somebody is talking there, and instead of listening to what the teacher says, my mind says, what are they talking about? If here somebody gets up from the front seat, for example, and then walks out, everybody will slowly look at and escort that person all the way up to the door. That's how the mind is. Because the mind seems to be as though waiting for going out through one of these gates, through the eyes, through ears, through the palate. Saradvarani sanyamya. Lord Krishna says that close all the gates so that the mind does not go out. Mainly dvarani, meaning the organs of perception, therefore controlling all the organs of perception. Oh, Swami, what does it mean? Should I put, plugs here in the ear? You can, if you want. Put plugs in the ear, blindfold on the eyes, and nose, of course, you can't control, but because the smell can come, but I don't. So controlling meaning that reminding yourself, oh mind, now give up all your activities of experiences through the sense organs because they are nothing compared to what you are going to experience. Here now we are preparing to experience our own self. And that is the most exalted, that is the nature of the greatest happiness or fulfillment. And therefore, but it does require that in order for you to experience that which is the greatest, this you have to give up, the little things have to be given up. Sarvadvarani sanyamya, therefore controlling all the gateways through which the mind may run out. Mano Hridi Nirudhya, now giving us a yogic prakriya of mind, concentrate the mind in the heart. So heart has always been presented as the place of concentration of the mind. Because heart also means the very center, or the very the center of all the nerves and everything. And so it was very common in the Vedic times to concentrate the attention first on the heart. Murdni adhaya atmanah pranam. So here the instruction is, first of all, focus all your attention on the heart. All the prana has now been brought to the heart. And then the yogi who has gained a mastery over his prana, Atmana prana murdni adhaya, slowly that prana is through the Sushumna Nadi controlled and brought to the murdni, in the crown of the head. Asthito yoga dharana. In that manner, this yogi now is focused upon the dharana or concentration of his mind upon the crown of the head. We are talking about a perfected yogi, and that's so. Then this is what this person has done for the whole of his life, and therefore now Lord Krishna says, "What should you do at the time of death?" Because how do you remember Bhagavan or Ishvara at the time of death? This way you remember the help of the name of the Lord, which is Omkara. And for that we should forget everything else, and therefore Lord Krishna says, first focus your attention on the heart, and through that bring your prana to the crown of the head. Asthito yoga dharanam. Now your attention is truly focused on the crown. Then the next verse is, Om ityekaksharam brahma Vyaharan mamanusmaran Yah prayatityajan deham Sayati paramam gatim. Om iti ekaksharam brahma vyaharan. Vyaharan, uttering mentally. Om iti ekaksharam. Aksharam means also the syllable. Ekaksharam, this one single syllable mantra, which is Om. Om is the single syllable word or single syllable mantra, single syllable name of Ishvara. And this is what is most common in the Vedas. Everywhere, like in Mundaka Upanishad, Kathopanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, many places we are taught the meditation with reference to, with the help of Omkara. And this 8th chapter is sort of a summary of the various upasanas told in the Upanishads. Therefore, we have this description here. Om iti ekaksharam brahma. Om is Brahman. Single syllable word which is Brahman. Om is equal to Brahman. Om is in fact the name of Brahman. Brahman is what is named, Nama and Nami. Name and what is named. Well, there is a long discussion in the Mandukya Upanishad. But basic idea is that Rama, that is a Nama, name. And Lord Rama is one who is named. That Nama and Nami, the name, Abhidhana, Abhideya, named and one who is named are inseparable. The word and the meaning are inseparable. For example, if I uttered a word pot, in your mind, a thought of the form of pot will automatically take place. If I say mango, immediately a thought of mango will come in your mind, as long as you know the language, etc. So this is the power that a word has. Word mango has a power of creating the mango thought in your mind. The word pot has the power of creating the pot thought in your mind. Why is it so? Because we know very well the connection with the word part and the object part is established in our mind. From all these years of living life, the word part and the object part, the connection between them is established, and therefore, when the word is uttered, automatically the corresponding object flashes in our mind. Similarly, if because of the chanting of Om with thinking of Brahman that's been going on for a long time, then Om means Brahman in the mind of the yogi. Just as in our mind, mango means fruit mango. The part means this object part. So also the yogi who has uttered Om for the whole of his life, for that person, Om means Brahman. Om is the Ek Aksharam Brahma. Om is the single syllable Brahman. Om means Brahman. Om is a name and Brahman is the, what is name? In Sanskrit, name is called Abhidhanam and the object is called Abhidheya. Abhidhanam, Abhidheya. Name and named. So name Rama and Lord Rama, inseparable if you have been exposed to, say Ramayana for a long time. So in the text called Ramcharitmanas, composed by Saint Tulsidas, he makes a very interesting statement there. There is this name Rama and there is this Lord Rama. Who is greater? Who is greater between the two? Between Nama and the Name, between name Rama and Lord Rama, who is greater? Tulsidas says that the name is greater. How? Because name comes first, then comes the Name, Lord comes later. You utter Rama and then the thought of Rama comes. So usually the one that leads, in those days, the servants always would walk behind the master. Master leads and servant follows, isn't it? Here who leads? Name Rama leads and Lord Rama follows. Therefore, who is greater? One who leads is the master. One who follows is the servant, is it not so? So it says the name Rama is even greater than Lord Rama because it leads and Rama follows. So that way Nama and Nami, the word and the meaning are inseparable when you have sufficient education, by the way. For us, the word mango and the fruit mango are inseparable because we have had that education. Suppose with education, for a long time when we have associated the meaning Brahma with the name Om, it has to happen. Om, if it has been practiced for a long time, then the word Om automatically brings the idea of Brahman in the mind. If I have practiced that identity for a long time, as our Swamiji would say that this soap company has spent a lot of money for creating this identity. Lux means soap. Our scriptures, Ganesha means a certain deity. Om means Brahma. Om iti ekaksharam Brahma vyaharan ma manusmaran. Lord Krishna says that uttering Om, Om, Om. Mam anusmaran, and remembering me, the Lord, who is the meaning of that word, because the meaning and what stands for the meaning, they are inseparable. This famous verse you must have heard, which is composed by our poet Kalidasa, as a Mangalacharanam for his great book or great treatise, or rather composition called Raghuvamsha. Vagarthaiva sampraktau vagartha pratipatte jagadah pitarau vande Parvati Parameshwarau. Basically, Kalidas, he wants to salute Parvati Parameshwara. Vande Parvati Parameshwarau. Why salute Parvati and Parameshwara? Who are they? Jagatah Pitarau. They are the parents of Jagat. Parvati is the mother and Parameshwara is the father. But he wants to say something about their relationship also. How they are inseparable. Vagartha eva sampraktau vagartha pratipat. Vagartha eva sampraktau. Vag means the word or speech. Artha means the meaning. Vagartha eva sampraktau vagarthau. Just as the vag, the word and the meaning are sampraktau, always associated, related, meaning one cannot be without the other. A word will automatically create the meaning in our mind, understand? Parvati Parameshwaru, Parvati and Parameshwara, both of whom are always united with each other like the word and the meaning. One day, I salute Parvati and Parameshwara, the mother and father of this universe, who are always united with each other like the word and the meaning. Why do you salute them? Vagartha pratipatte. For pratipatti, for knowing the vagartha, the meaning of the word. So, because Kalidasa is now going to compose this great work, Raghuvamsha, and to make sure that you use the right word for the right meaning. The right word should occur for a given meaning, and that is what is necessary for a poet, for which he seeks the grace of the Lord. He understands that whenever a word occurs in the mind, when the right word occurs, it is the grace of Ishvara. That this, I am able to talk all of this because the thoughts are occurring in the mind and then appropriate words occur and then they are expressed through the speech. This doesn't happen without any reason. That means the speaker is enjoying a lot of grace. Grace of the Guru, grace of Ishvara. Kalidasa says, I would enjoy that grace so that the right words come with the right meaning. Vagartha pratipatte. For the knowledge of vag and artha, the knowledge of word and the meaning, I salute Parvati and Parameshwara, who are united with each other like the vag and artha. Oh, this was his poetry, So, but idea is Om. If similarly also the yogi has been uttering Om or meditating upon Om, with the idea of Brahman for a long time, then for that person, Om and Brahman are inseparable. Therefore, Om iti kaksharam Brahma vyaharan mamanusmaran. Lord Krishna says, uttering this one immutable syllable, single syllable, Om, 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 mamanusmaran, remembering me, Param Brahma. Yah prayati tyajan deham. One who departs, leaving this body, prayati means dies actually. Prayana means departure from his body. Yah prayati, who dies, tyajan deham, leaving this body. So death is just leaving this body, not that he becomes, he becomes extinguished. The existence doesn't go away, even the yogi also does not get extinguished. All that happens is that the yogi departs from this body. Where does he go? So uttering Om, 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 and corresponding remembering Param Brahma, Param Brahma, Param Brahma, and thus he departs from this body. Sayati Paramam Gatim. He attains the supreme gati, the supreme goal. He attains what the word Omkara stands for. he is meditating on Omkara. Omkara has this meaning of Brahma. First, Omkara means Saguna Brahma. The yogi is meditating Om, 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 with Saguna Brahma, Hiranyagarbha or Brahma, and therefore uttering this when he departs, he goes to the world of Brahma. It's called Paramam Gatim. He attains supreme goal, but actually he attains what we call the Brahmaloka. But the point is that we are told that in course of time from Brahmaloka, that he will get the knowledge from Brahmaji and will become liberated. This is called the Krama-mukti or the liberation in stages. First stage is attainment of Brahmaloka. Ultimate stage is attaining knowledge of Brahman. Sayati Paramam Gatim. This yogi attains the Paramagati or the supreme abode or supreme destination. Anyway, this is all for you to know. This is what Gita has. This is what our scriptures have. And it's always a good idea to know various aspects of our scriptures. And this is one aspect which usually we do not come across. In the lectures on the talk of Brahma Vidya, these things don't come usually, but Lord Krishna has chosen to include this because these upasanas, meditations are an important part of Veda. Even important part of Upanishads also in some cases. Therefore, Lord Krishna, this being the Sarva Upanishado Gao Dogdha Gopalanandana, this being the essence of all the Upanishads, therefore, these upasanas which appear in Upanishads are also included here in this chapter, in the 8th chapter. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.